Requisition me a beat. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. And we're in Ishgard now, and we're starting Heaven's Word. So let's talk to this Four-Tomp's manservant, shall we? You may notice I'm on Excalibur now. This was a conscious decision so that I could make use of my own free company while also promoting its growth. Just wasn't making any friends on Brunhilde. Not that I tried super duper duper hard, but well, the eyes have it. Or something or other. Now that we have access to Ishgard, we'll be able to access 3 more jobs, 2 of which I plan to actually use on Clyde for story purposes, and also to show off, because I like them. Although one of them has been sort of gutted in this expansion, so that one is... it's love and hate, but it's the healer that starts at a highest level, and if we want Clyde to have all 4 jobs, that's the one to go with, to be expedient. What's Tataru say? You can almost smell the wealth and power. Well, it is a pretty nice view up here. Hey look, another dragoon. Oh, look at that. We're getting 48,000 per quest now. Might have to bust out Red Mage just for that.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
Yeah, he's fancy.
I, Count Edmond de Four-Tomp, do bid you welcome.
He's got a fancy mustache, too.
As wards of House Four-Tomp, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
Although that style of mustache makes me think that he's just annoyed with having to shave that part of your mouth, because that part is like the part of your mouth that's the most annoying to shave. So he's probably just like, nah, fuck it. I'll tell him it's stylish and make it a trend.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Four-Tomp.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders, yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies. Don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses, but so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city?
Alphinaud's doing all the talking. Clyde's just standing there in his spiky dragon armor like, yeah, I'm ready to murder shit.
You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Do you suppose that Clyde only goes along with being a good guy because he just wants to fight everything that is willing to fight, which is usually bad guys? Yeah. Who are these young fellows? Emaneliane. Or maybe Emaneliane? Emaneliane? I can't. It is another French ass name. I can't read it. Well, since everyone else is on their fancy digs, let's get in our fancy digs, you know? Red Mage is fancy. We can look fancy. Though our friends in House Fortemps have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It's only proper that we learn about our new home so that we might become more self-sufficient. How I grow forgetful in my dotage. That means old age. I wonder if they had to hire a specialist to consult about older English terms. Clyde looks kind of better with glasses, don't you think? Ah, sweet. We've basically got official... We got official hall passes for the city. No, just like his son. Haurchefant's dad is a badass. Although, why do you suppose Haurchefant has white hair? Everyone else in the Fortemps family has black hair. What's up with that? Haurchefant a bastard? Yeah, he probably is. That's a pretty common fantasy trope. Because it was pretty common in real life. Royalty could just not stop themselves from fucking everything in sight. The Hoplon, so named for the bronze great shield worn by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Begging your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Thornton's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alphinaud. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thornton I to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the Jeweled Crozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elace, or Elacy? I'm gonna say Elacy, our master of the markets. A crozier it's like a crown, I'm pretty sure. So the jeweled crown, basically. They wanted to get all fancy. That's one reason to play a ranged main. You can always turn on movement speed plus with Peloton. But, yeah, sprint will suffice for my needs. That's a cool spear. Brionac Awoken, huh? It's got like a wavy aura about it. That's kind of cool. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... Ah, wards of House Fortemps. How very interesting. Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Her head seems unnaturally large for her body size, but oh well. It's probably because they made a unique old woman face for her. Come to think of it, why don't they put the old people faces that they so clearly have for several characters and NPCs, why don't they put them in the character creator? I remember in Final Fantasy XI there was a couple of older / middle-aged looking faces. They had 8 different faces you could choose from in Final Fantasy XI. And in 14 here, we only ever get to choose between 4. So, I don't know. Now, we could continue on with the main storyline quest, but there's a couple of job quests here in the pillars that I want to go ahead and pick up because they lead to those jobs that I mentioned before. And there's also a third job that's a DPS job. It's the machinist that you can unlock in Foundation, but I don't have any interest in doing that on Clyde because he's going to have, between Red Mage and Dragoon, he's going to have 2 damage dealing classes as it is, and won't need ranged. It's a ranged damage dealer, so he won't need that because I mean, Red Mage is already a ranged damage dealer, even though it's technically a caster, and they make a difference now. They didn't used to make that difference. There was no distinction originally between caster ranged and ranged or physical range. They didn't make the distinction. They only started doing that recently to try to explain to the player base that, the reason we added another DPS class instead of a healer was because physical range needed another thing, and it was literally just an excuse. They literally made a gameplay mechanic and thing just so they wouldn't have to, you know, justify not making a 4th healer for the Shadowbringers expansion. So, after witnessing a spectacle like that, everyday life seems rather dull in comparison. What's he on about? You didn't see that trial earlier? Ah, you're lost. Fury take me. The way that heretic swung that slab of iron he called a sword was a sight to behold. He couldn't have carried a shield if he'd wanted to, the blade was so big. Had to keep two hands on it at all times. I was amazed that he managed to keep up with the Temple Knight for as long as he did. Fought like a demon from the deepest pits of the seventh hell, bellowing threats and working his arts. I wasn't sure what to make of it at first, but then I heard someone say that he must be a dark knight. But you didn't hear that from me. In fact, I'm sure I don't know anything about it. Press the man for details? Hell yeah. Ye gods, are you mad? We're standing outside the bloody tribunal! Fine, fine, but keep quiet and listen, because I'm only gonna say this once. Our end, huh? So as I was saying, the heretic was fighting like a man possessed. But possessed is in italics. Okay, so he put some emphasis on that. Even after he took several wounds, he showed no sign of pain, though there was no mistaking the blood. As the fight wore on, it began to soak through his armor, spreading to every elm of his body. But when it began to rise and envelop him as a mist, I realized it wasn't blood, but something dark and twisted. But the righteous are not so easily cowed. Hallowed be praised. I screamed myself hoarse when that Temple Knight slipped past his guard and ran him through. Good riddance, I say. Man was not meant to wield such arts. Yet I wonder, was he truly one of those... Well, it matters not. I heard the Temple Knights talking of dumping his corpse in the broom. By sunrise it will be stripped bare and tossed over the walls. It will be as though he never was, and as though we never had this conversation. Welly, well, well. Hey, look, they got an airship landing. That makes sense. Can't have... Jeanne Quinard? Greetings and welcome to the Athenaeum Astrologicum. I guess that's how you say that. Perhaps you were drawn by fate to this place of learning, or perhaps you wish to know more of fate itself. Yeah, sure, why not? Then you were wise to come hither, for in the stars are written in the fates of every woman and man of Heidelin. It was there in the stars that a man could call upon the Athenaeum this very day. A man who would play an important role in my own life. Ah, but apologies, even the most skilled reader cannot scry a name from the heavens. Would you be so kind as to give me yours, so that I might know who it is to be my newest protege? Sure, why not? Clyde. Well, I was not expecting that. But what is a name but an attempt by our begetters to wield power over the lives of their sons and daughters? Lives whose paths have already been foretold, in a sense, that is. My name is Jeannequinard de Durandere, and I am an astrologian for the Holy See. Remember that name, for it shall echo forevermore in the annals of Ishgardian history. Well, it will once I put it there. Once we put it there. Stairway to the heavens, huh? Now, where to begin? I suppose I could consult my divining deck for an answer, but that would be too easy now, wouldn't it? Very well, at the beginning it is. Astrology, or the reading of the stars, is a branch of ethereological science which originated in distant Charlayan. There have been astrologians in Ishgard for thousands of years, but it wasn't until 3 centuries ago when Adunel the Younger learned that the movement of the stars could also be used to foresee the movements of the Dravanian horde, that the field became popular. Since then, what was once a single science has bifurcated into two similar yet ultimately different schools of learning. The Charlayan school of astrology and the Ishgardian school, the former placing a focus on tapping celestial ether and transforming it into beneficial magics, or astromancy. The latter specializing solely in determining the actions of our dragon enemies to the north. I am a student of the former, the only student of the former here in Ishgard, and have been actively seeking a partner with whom to conduct my research. Let us just say that my fellow astrologians have been less than approving of my path. But that is simply because they are afraid of what they do not know. Once they do know of how Charlayan astrology can benefit the sea and its soldiers, they will feel foolish for ever having doubted me. I mean us. You will be joining me, will you not? Walking the path that has been laid out before you, instead of stubbornly denying your fate, postponing the inevitable? I see you wasted no time making your decision. Like I always say, the stars are never wrong. Alas, even a lifetime of study and training cannot unlock all the secrets written in those stars. Myself, I have been a student of the astromantic arts for more summers than I can count, and I still oft misread the signs shown to me in the skies. Though my readings are far more accurate now than they were when I attended the Athenaeum in Charlayan. Not the Charlayan, mind you, the colony that once thrived in the Dravanian hinterlands. I can recall my time there like it was but yesterday. The first 6 moons I was not even allowed to touch the deck of 60, let alone conduct a reading with the major arcana. Most of my time was spent in the scriptorium transcribing old tomes on astrological fundamentals such as the 6 elemental houses, divine duplicity, classic triplicity, house modality, and polarity, dignity versus detriment. I abhorred the task and would tirelessly pester my instructors as to when I might actually be granted the opportunity to weave a spell and perform a reading. It wasn't until the end of the 6th moon that I realized all that transcribing had prepared me with the essentials I would need to do those very things. The positions of the celestial bodies within the 6 elemental houses, and their relation to the major and minor arcana of the deck of 60, therein lie the secrets to tapping the ethereal power locked in the heavens. And soon you too will become privy to these secrets. But not this day. No, no. I would not have you transcribe musty old tomes, like I was once forced to do. No, the task I have for you is much more interesting. You see, I am expecting the arrival of a very important guest. My old mentor from the studium has agreed to make the journey from the old world to Ishgard, and speak with the Holy See regarding the implementation of Charlayan astrological techniques in city defense. Alas, the professor and his party are now fully 7 days late in arriving, and I have begun to worry for their safety. I should be much obliged, therefore, if you would inquire of the other astrologians here at the Athenaeum if they have heard aught. Why would Lord Jeniquinard think I had information on the whereabouts of a handful of unbelievers from across the blood-brine sea? I am an astrologian, not a fortune-teller. I cannot simply look to the stars and scry the location of the Viscount's guests, unless his guests were dragons, that is. I suppose if anyone knew aught, it would be the Observatorium. We here at the Athenaeum are but students dedicated to research. Those with any influence in our field are assigned to the astroscope. Let me guess. The good Lord Jeniquinard said he saw you in a vision, and that the stars told him that you were to study the Charlayan astrology with him. Am I close? You must be the 100th of his little pets to pester me this week alone. I harbor no ill will toward ignorant unbelievers, unlucky enough to find themselves caught up in talk of stars and fortunes. But you may tell that sorry excuse for an astrologian, for the umpteenth time, that I have heard naught concerning his imaginary friends from faraway Charlayan. Just do not tell the Viscount I called him a solitary excuse for an astrologian, alright? Oh, they don't seem to think very highly of him. What about Fleurier here? Jeniquinard is still waiting for word of his missing Charlians instead of actually making an effort to find him, is he? Of course he is. Is it any wonder that in the nearly 15 years since his return from Charlayan, his skill in astromancy has remained unchanged? Any wonder that he has never yet managed to convince a single peer of the value of the Charlayan school? He is a privileged little sprat who spends most time gazing at the stars in the young maiden's eyes rather than actually trying to read the ones above his head. Alright, alright. You tell the poor man I just returned from the observatorium, and one night at the communal feasting hall happened to overhear Chief Astrologian Forlemort speaking with one of his aides regarding Charlie-Anne. He was visibly upset, and I wasn't about to risk my career over something I care so little about, so I merely put my head down and ate my beet soup. But that is all I know, and you did not hear it from me. Also, beet soup is disgusting. Beets are disgusting. I hate beets. Okay. Master Forlemort. Ah, and I thought this day could not get any worse. Oh, no, I'm not suggesting that meeting you in any way has been unfortunate. It is just, it may not be in our best interest to be seen together as of yet. There are certain people in the sea who do not approve of my studies. Couple that with the fact that you are an outsider and an unbeliever, and well, people may come to the wrong conclusions. We must act with caution until we can prove that our intentions are just, and for the good of all Ishgard, so I must ask you to travel to the observatorium alone, and meet me there. Okay. Whew, that was dialogue dense. Let's see, have I gotten all the, let's see. We got the last vigil, okay. Did I get the tribunal? Okay, I did. I got that, and I got that, and I got that. So, okay, so the only ones I'm missing are the ones in Foundation. And we'll talk to you in a second, manservant. I got more important things to do. But only about 30 more minutes to do them, man. I do love Ishgard, though. I'm a fan of stone architecture, and at least as visually, I like wintry places. But if I actually had to be in a wintry place like this for a long time, I would probably go crazy. The clan hunt began. What's that? Oh, that's hunts. That's Centurio hunts. Oh dear, I gotta sneeze. Fortunately, when I turn my mic all the way up past my ear, I don't think you can hear it. So that's good. So we don't have the Grand Company as of here, but we have Clan Centurio. Sure do. Ah, he was born 1,000 moms from Ishgard? Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting. Seems legit. Now it's important for you to unlock these because not only are they a good source of daily experience points, but the Centurio seals can be used for upgrade items. But more importantly, later on, it'll let you unlock other hunts that are of a higher level Which, you know, yeah, so it's unlock hunts as you go. It's definitely a good thing. And it all starts back with your Grand Company, so make sure you get up to Second Lieutenant. That was why I did all of that in those earlier episodes, or chapters, whatever you'd like to call them. She calls me a burly boy. How about that? Why would she call you if you're a girl? Because I honestly, I have one female character, and I did not pay attention when I... No, I'm sure they're just normal enemies. We'll have to switch to the Dragoon to finish this quest, though, because it's a level 56 quest, as you may have noticed. So one of the greatest things about the Final Fantasy MMO is that you can just switch jobs at will. They may not be as involved as other MMO classes with, like, you know, 2 or 3 different skill trees or whatever, but it doesn't really matter when they're hard enough to master as is, and you can literally play everything. So, you know. Alright, we've attuned to all the aetherites. Punctilious Temple Knight, huh? I guess that's the corpse of the guy that got slain in the trial by combat. It's more than enough for charity. I'll take care of the rest. And mayhap sooner than later. Come on. Why didn't the Temple Knights strip a bear? Guess they can't afford to be seen with unbeliever armor on or something. It's a soul stone, or soul crystal. Is this all that awaits? No, no more. Enough. Open your eyes, look. Do you see now? Do you see? Clyde. Clyde. Either we revived him or he's not really dead. I've been waiting for you to open your eyes. You all right? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets beside. Name's Frey, by the way, and no, I'm not a heretic. Try convincing a Temple Knight drunk on authority of that, huh? Shame the pompous arse got the better of me. But how about you? You touched it, yes? That couldn't have felt good. A voice, eh? And a rather distressed one besides. Please, someone, anyone! Not so fast. We need to talk about what's happening to you, what's growing within you, before you get carried away. There's a darkness within us all. Nothing dangerous, mind you. In fact, it's quite healthy. But the crystal changes you, gives you the power to channel it. Do it without proper training, however, and well, it might hurt. So go ahead. Ask me to teach you. Ask me to instruct you in the ways of the Dark Knights, and I will. I know you're still worried about the Screaming Woman, so I'll keep this brief. We Dark Knights don't care for wit, for prestige, or pedigree. We are free to follow our hearts, to defend the weak and punish the guilty as we see fit. The law of the land, the authority of a name, these are tools cowards use to escape harm. We have no need of shields, figurative or literal. Here, my blade is your blade, my soul crystal is your crystal. Go on, take them. You'll need them soon enough. Dark Knight unlocked. Okay, let's make a new set. And we will equip that. And we still have our mid-20s gear from earlier. And our brand new ring, of course. So let's see. Ethereal iron, that makes sense. Let's see. Cotton trousers. Or toadskin, maybe? I'll go with the toadskin for now. It's a higher item level. Steel plate belt. Yep, that's good, that's good. Good stuff, good stuff. Ooh, ethereal steel gauntlets. I had better gear for this than I thought I would. Go with that, but we'll dye it Goo Gray, just to make it a little bit lighter. Try to match with the other steel. And... well, I guess the best thing we got is this steel sallet. But, blood gauge unlocked, huh? Oh, but right now all it shows us is grit, which is our tank stance, I suppose. I'll put this down here. The dark side gauge we'll also put down here, but that won't come into play just yet. Okay, these are tank roll actions. Rampart is the most important, followed by reprisal, then provoke. We can keep provoke, I guess. It's not super duper important, but it's fairly important. It's more used for tank swaps later. And then alright, so we're armored up. If not well, at least decently. Oh, that's a change. You used to just get dark side at level 30. So basically it's becoming a vigilante like Batman. You don't care about your prestige or how you're perceived. You only care about justice. Raw and true. Regardless of the cost to you. Please, I don't know what to do. It's my granddaughter. I didn't see him standing there, and I know that's no excuse. I should have been more careful. My granddaughter, she started yelling at the temple night. I tried to stop her, I did, but then she said to come with him, and if I could just tell him how sorry I am, maybe he would. He'd take you too, is what he'd do. Even if you went and begged the blue bastard to intervene, it'd be too late by then. Ain't the first time they've taken a girl her age. If she doesn't fight back, they might let her go after. Oh god, they're gonna rape her. Ah, Ishgardian justice. They might spare the girl, you know, leave her with a few scars and a lifelong lesson. Or we could just beat every last one of them to within an inch of their lives and rescue the girl. You'd like that, wouldn't you? I knew you would. Assuming they didn't just drag her into an alley, they've taken her to either the congregation or the tribunal. The Honorable Sir Emmerich wouldn't suffer such reprehensible behavior under his roof. The Inquisition, on the other hand, well... So that leaves the tribunal. If the girl is still alive, I imagine they'll make all manner of threats. Come any closer and she dies, and so forth. If so, we'll need to make something perfectly clear to them. We're not here for her. We're here for them. Once they understand that she means nothing to us, they'll attack us or flee. I don't know about you, but I'm eager to find out which. What an introduction to a class, huh? The first thing we're gonna do is go save an elf woman from getting raped. Just the one sword between the two of us, I'm afraid. You keep it. I dare say it fits rather snugly in your hands. Don't worry about me. I'll do my part to keep you on your feet. Now, should things turn violent, as I suspect they shall, you may need to tap into your dark side to survive. It's not unlike drawing upon your own aether to weave magic. Fear, pain, rage, that which lies deepest in the depths of our soul makes for a potential fuel. But be warned, burn too much too quickly and you risk being consumed. Do not worry, Clyde. The first step over the threshold is always the hardest. See, I've got about 18 minutes left on the recording. That should be enough time to get through this. And if it's not, I'll start another episode and keep it to a 20 to 30 minute range. Damn it, girl, you're only making it worse for yourself. The hell's with you, I've done nothing wrong. Why are the pretty ones always so daft? If I had a gill for every time I had to kill an unrepentant bastard like you. What the? Are you threatening a temple knight? Ah, you're very clever. Yes, I am. Now let her go. Enough of this. With me, girl, now. One more word of protest and I'll toss your grandmother into a cell to rot. You three, seize this imbecile. Soul Eater used to be a level 38 attack, and you had a combo that was your hate combo that led up to Power Slash. It feels weird to do this quest with Soul Eater, but oh well. Bring everyone, he's gone mad. Reinforcements, man. Looks like we'll have to even the odds. Search your soul for the darkness. You need but a sliver. Yes. Do you see, Clyde? The flames beckon. Immerse yourself in the flames and ignite the darkness within. Just so, as it burns hotter, so too. But drink not too deep, lest the flames consume you. this for a baseborn bitch? Do you know what you're doing? I do. I'm killing you and anyone else who gets in my way. But I'm tonight, you bear steel, I'm not only going to kill him, but I'm going to kill his wife and his friends and burn his goddamn house down. Thank you. Those of you who yet live, remember this horror, and know that you should you speak of it, it shall be visited upon you again, 100-fold. I don't know what to say, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I got a little carried away earlier. It's just that when I saw how they were treating my grandmother, I had to say something and... What? No one screamed your name. My grandmother called out just the once, but that was it. Speaking of which, I should hurry back. I suppose I had to say that I'm sorry for what I did, but I'm not. Those knights had it coming. Halone bless you for what you did. Feels good, doesn't it? Strange, maybe, but a good strange, I'll wager. You tapped into something primal, a power nested within you, yearning to be free. As your understanding of this power grows, so too will your skill as a Dark Knight. You have done well, far better than I could have hoped, in fact. But there is still so much to learn, so much further to go. I won't lie to you, Clyde. The risks will only increase, so if you want to keep going, you have to trust in me. Can you do that? Good. That's a promise. Circumstances being what they are, it might be best if we parted ways for a while. Think of it as an opportunity to hone your skills in my absence. But don't worry, we'll meet again when the time is right. I'll be waiting where we first met. Learn to control the darkness within. Flood of darkness, huh? Dark side gauge unlocked. Okay. So yeah, we still do unlock dark side at this level. It's just, it's tied to a skill now rather than just being something you turn on. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. The Observatorium, huh? Let's see how much more of this Astrologian questline we can get done. We won't be able to get all of it. There's only about 8 minutes left in recording. The reason I'm unlocking these now, though, instead of just continuing with the main storyline, is because between now and next time, I want to have the freedom to level these jobs up as much as I want, so that I can use them if I desire to during the Let's Play, or during the recording. Alright, and I wouldn't waste anyone's time, except my own, leveling them up. You know, I'm not gonna stretch out the part of the Heaven's Word by showing you just how long it could take. Although, I will probably take them to Palace of the Dead, and I might make an episode or two out of that when I catch back up to the floor set, that I'd showed you before, where I died. I suppose we'll have to get on a level 50 class. But yes, Clyde now has a tank. He's got damage dealers. And when we get through this Astrologian quest, he'll have a healer. And of course, he could have had all these before now, but this is the most expedient way to get them. Well, to be honest, there's a tank that you can unlock at level 60 that will be level 60 when you unlock it, so that would be the most expedient way. But I don't want to use that tank because its story implications, at least with as far as they've taken the story right now, aren't that interesting. I mean, it's a really fun and cool class. It's the Gunbreaker, but you know, it's not extraordinary. It's not out of this world. Oh, come on, Forlimore. You know who I am. Huh, Royal Allegheny Sunway to the Black Shroud. Lost their way. Well, they can't see the stars for the trees, I suppose. Queen Piraine, huh? What a weird name. At least he looks like a knightly knight. Yeah, we're no strangers to helping out House Durandare. They're like the neutral house of Ishgard. Dizimale is like the douchebag house. Four Tomps and Halenart or whatever, they're like the soft boy slash... Well, Halenart's like the soft boy house. Four Tomps is the good house. And... yeah. So Durandare, they're halfway between being douchebags, but being, they're competent, but they're not evil. So they're basically the neutral house. Oh, Queen Piraine. Uh-oh. Guess I can't get involved directly. Trouble, huh? Ah, it's like a... It's a dusk white female. Pleasure barge. Ugh. The soul has spoken. Grab the old man. These wizard types carry on them all manners to be gemmed baubles and golden trinkets. Are these red bellies? Slack-jawed thug. Well, he's a confident fellow. Ah, I am chosen. Okay, so sort of like Dark Knight, we're gonna get a little tutorial quest here that we gotta do, but that'll have to come next time. So we'll either pick up here again, or I'll just either show you killing the Hydra boss for real this time, or, you know, whatever. So we'll see. Anyway, have a good day, and thank you for watching.